This storm will kill you.
Look! I'm telling you! You know what I mean, folks?
But if rich people aren't looking out for us, who is?
It makes no difference which one of us you vote for. Either way, your planet is doomed.
You're listening to the Our Take Podcast with Brian Sherman.
He had a full head, all the way till the end. It was white, and I was hoping to get that. I was hoping to get, the full head, and it was really hard to cut it off.
And Spencer Rogers.
To be a good pilot, you have to be able to make good decisions, and I know what my credit score is, so I know I don't make good decisions.
This is the Our Take Podcast.
From Scary Paramedia Studios in Ogden, Utah, it's the Our Take Podcast, episode 105. I'm Brian.
I'm Spencer.
Everybody, find us at the Our Take Pod. That's TheOurTakePod.
This is our last episode before Civil War II.
Right. By the way, that was at TikTok.
And that's not an Avengers movie. That is...
we need more people on TikTok, okay? And for the love, will you guys just tell your friends about the show? We know you're listening.
I told some people about it. They said they would listen, but you never know.
I want to double our listenership.
Then I worried that they're going to hear, my inner thoughts and think I'm a terrible person.
We did talk about that therapy thing a while back. But anyway, it is January the 17th. On this day in history, in 1991, the Gulf War in Iraq begins. Can you name the operation?
Desert Storm.
You got it. Launched in response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, resulting in about 100,000 civilian deaths. Ew.
Confused with Desert Shield.
Which was the operation leading up to.
Not to be confused with Operation Enduring Freedom.
Or Shock and Awe.
Ooh, that's a scary one.
Shock or Awe, I believe. Oh, no, Shock and Awe. You're right. You're right. In 1995, on this day in history, the Great Hanshin earthquake hits Kobe, Japan. 6,434 people lost their lives during the quake. That's crazy.
Wow. Japan's pretty serious about quakes, man.
They are.
They don't mess around. Not
also,
anymore.
You left this here.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to clean it. I'm just kidding. Good old 20 millimeter. I was going to search on eBay for a 30 mil.
They're on there.
I
They're
know,
on
but
Amazon.
I didn't. Oh, they are?
Oh.
I want my own replica. Anyway.
I don't think they have them that are as strikingly realistic as the one, and I'm sure you could find one. No?
Sure. I'm sure I could. It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the Our Take Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, most importantly, or the OurTakePodcast.com.
Is it the most importantly? Oh, here's
one. Yeah, because people can go there to watch clips, whereas, Facebook and stuff, we just post,
That's true.
I mean, I try and post the clips there too, but frankly, it's just another step I don't want to take.
You don't like taking steps?
No. I try and keep it under 3,000 a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, good news. I don't know if you've heard about this in Australia. Have you ever seen the show, it's like Australian Customs Guard people, Australian Border Patrol, I don't know.
Australian Border Patrol?
Yeah, they're really serious about their customs there because
okay, customs makes sense, but they don't really have any borders.
Well, I mean, whatever. Anyway,
I'm not trying to be a dick.
No,
I
feel like that's what it's. But anyway,
yeah.
they're really serious about
Sure.
not bringing in foreign things that's alive,
like invasive
because
species.
They're their own little island there. They don't want
It's a big island, but yeah.
Well, in comparison to
relatively
to other continents, I'd say it's a pretty small island. I mean, I guess if you're comparing it to Hawaii, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at what point is a
But if the ocean were to recede, it could,
What if it connected to India?
Yeah.
I mean, at what point does an island no longer an island?
When it's as big as Australia and becomes a continent,
that's
I guess.
what I
don't know. Anyway, did you hear about the pigeon?
No. Oh, wait. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But give me a rundown because just briefly.
Okay. So there's this pigeon shows up, okay? And
in Australia.
In Australia.
Yeah.
And they catch it, I guess, and they see that it has a band. and the band
on its leg.
Right. The band indicates that it's a racing pigeon, and they think that it came from Oregon, which is 8,000 miles away. So they're not sure if it flew there or if it took a boat. But
yeah, like hung out on the boat.
right,
Yeah,
took a boat. Like it's in line for a freaking cruise ship. Like
yeah.
anyway, so Australia's like, well, we got to kill this pigeon. We can't let it.
That's weird. Why?
Because it's got organ. They don't want to be like us.
Oh, I see.
It's got organ on it.
It's got organ all over it.
So of course, my first thought when I hear this is like, oh freak, dude, I'll fly there and take home the pigeon. I mean, like,
That's true. You're a bird
there's
guy.
got to be another way around.
Right.
But fortunately, before they were able to euthanize the pigeon, there was massive outcry, and it was actually discovered that the band was a fake.
Why would someone do that?
I don't know. It's a racing pigeon. It's like a collector's eye. I don't know.
Wait,
man.
so
it's stupid.
So you're saying like, if you were a pigeon racer, you could like band one of your pigeons and then put a fake band on another one that wins the race, so to speak.
Oh, I don't know if that's.
That's a great idea.
I don't know.
I that's the only reason I can think to put a fake band
It says
on.
it's counterfeit and not it's not traceable. So I don't. I mean,
Do they have like RFID in them normally or
I
something?
guess.
Interesting.
I don't know, but it says that this is a thing that they do, that bird people do.
I want to know who saw it and called it in.
Good question.
Right? Like they're on the beach, they're like, that fucker does not belong here.
Right.
That is
like
an Oregonian.
if I saw a friendly pigeon with a band, I'm not going to call the authorities.
Right.
I'm going to take it home with me and love it and cherish it.
Or
but
just say, there goes a pigeon
yeah, exactly.
in your head.
I don't
like,
know. I don't know.
Who called the authorities?
I don't know. Maybe it was the other pigeons. They saw him and they're like, this is not okay.
Calling ice, dude.
But the pigeon has a name. His name's Joe, and he's named after Joe Biden. I don't know why, but yeah, it's fraudulent, and the pigeon is from Australia.
That's why. It's fraudulent.
Oh, that must be what it is.
It's the fraud.
So they didn't know that before.
Right.
I'm sure they would have rethought the name
Right.
had that been the case, because they don't want another riot on their hands. Oh, man. Anyway.
So it turns out that it is indigenous to Australia, or it's okay to be in Australia?
Yeah. I mean, pigeons, man.
This is
like,
amazing.
There's so many different pigeons here that are not indigenous to. Like, how do you stop birds from flying to?
Only
You're like, whoa, bald eagle. Hello, you made it to Australia. Where's your visa,
Why
bro?
don't you turn that shit around?
Can you tell me the way to town? It's back the way you came.
I
Yeah, I don't know,
get it.
man. I don't know.
only humans would be that audacious to
Yeah, we're stupid.
claim this.
Speaking of audacious, does Quinn, your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
who is 4,
Mm-hmm.
does she like dinosaurs?
She went through a dinosaur phase.
Okay.
She can name some of them, like
All right.
the standbys.
So I typed in 3D prints the other day, and on Etsy, I was just seeing, what maybe I could print something.
Because you could do it.
And
yeah.
I found this unknown dinosaur that I'd never heard of before.
Yeah?
And I was just, I don't know, it might be an interesting toy for a children's
That looks-
birthday party or something.
That looks
or-
oddly familiar.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
that's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's called the. It must be a newer species because it's called the Dickasaurus.
the Dickasaurus.
Dickasaurus.
Dickasaurus. It's spelled
It's part of the T-Rex family. It's
Right.
a Dickasaurus Rex.
Dickasaurus Rex.
Yeah.
I mean, some might say Dickasaurus,
You're
but
right,
I
you're
think
right.
Dickasaurus is the preferred
You're right.
pronunciation.
Yeah. And so if you're on Etsy, just Google
Dickasaurus.
Yeah, it's-
Dickasaurus.
Rex, and maybe get one of these big black ones.
Look at these options. Look at these options for color. Noir,
chili dog.
chili dog,
Why
dick envy, and make you blush. That's awesome.
Because it's pink.
It must.
There is more than one person selling these BT Dub. It's like a thing.
By the way, there's sizes too. Tiny, which is a 5-pack, 1 inches. Big enough, 4 inches. An impressive
So-
7 inches.
So they're billed as bridal shower gifts,
Sure.
but I think they're more educational than that. I mean, wow, I just Google or
You,
I
you can learn about dinosaurs.
I typed it in to Etsy's search, and there's a very uncomfortable amount of these. In
Yeah.
fact, there's some that are very veiny, and I don't know. I want to know how much money these people are making. Oh, there's a keychain. So
Dickasaurus.
and for those of you that aren't watching and are only listening, I don't know how to describe it to you.
Right.
It's well, it is what it sounds like.
It's a T-Rex with at the waist it becomes a dick. That's what it is.
Like Richard Nixon dick or
No, like a penis.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Well,
Dickasaurus.
I guess when I have my next bridal shower, I'll have to have to get some of these.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. So last week after we recorded, my dad the next day messages me, and we record on Sunday normally. I saw my dad Thursday, and on Monday he's like, "Hey, I have Rona symptoms." And I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." And he's like, "I'm going to go get tested tomorrow." So he gets tested, and I tell Brian, like, "Hey, Brian, I don't know what's going on. My dad thinks he might have Rona. Just gear up, get ready,
Right.
in case." And he does. He gets a positive test of Rona. Fortunately, his case doesn't seem to be life-threatening. It's probably because he's lost so much weight and is in better shape than me, despite being 40 years older than me.
And it turns out that it was a bit of a scare because you had been with your dad.
Yeah, I had been with him on Thursday, but after he got it, he was pretty confident that he got it on Friday because he says he met with someone at work who, in turn, found out the next day that they had it.
Sure. And I was a bit worried.
Yeah, so once he told me that, I was kind of like, but I kind of had a sore throat, but I think it was because I'm breathing terrible at night and
You
anyway.
need CPAP.
Yeah. So I went and got a Rona test, and let me tell you, this one wasn't as bad as the last one.
Right. And this was a rapid. Was it just spit?
No, they swabbed my
They still
nose
swab?
still, but they didn't go. It was just 5 twirls.
Yeah.
I had to wait in line for like 45 minutes.
Well, last week you asked if we knew anybody, Mr. Brent Red.
Yeah, I actually know quite a few people now.
And then you and my nephew got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Lives down in St. George Way.
Yeah, my boss's well, she's whatever. My boss got it, and then her father-in-law got it and died, and mother-in-law.
She
And-
died too?
No, sorry,
Oh, okay.
sorry. They both got it, but only he died.
Okay. Jeez.
Terrible.
I mean, it's awful already.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, and now my dad has had it. That's the closest connection to me.
It's getting closer.
And honestly, it feels like Rona is closing in on me.
For sure.
Like what did I tell you? I was telling you that next day. I was like, my dad thinks he has it. My brother-in-law, because I live with my sister and brother-in-law, and they're my nephew, and my brother-in-law's boss tested positive for it, but apparently he wasn't around my brother-in-law. And then my nephew's daycare, 2 babies tested positive for it there. And I just seriously, it just feels like, oh, it's coming to get me. There's no way.
It does. I mean, it really does feel like it's closer than ever before.
And what's crazy is how fast the death rate is now. It's, I mean, it took us, it took us almost, 9-10 months to get to 200,000.
Yeah.
And now we've doubled that in a quarter of the time. Right? It's
So we're past 400,000 in the States?
Yes. And you remember a few weeks ago I painted a very grim object lesson for you.
Oh yeah, the stadiums.
Yeah, the
Yes,
stadiums.
which you
and
can find on TikTok, by the way.
yes, that it is there. And what I did was I pulled up pictures of 6 stadiums, which
Yeah, there's a
it's
helicopter landing.
which I should have sent to you already, but I forgot. So,
Oh, that's okay. We don't need to do it again,
Well,
unless you want it.
I go ahead and put them up on the on the recording screen here.
Okay.
So I have them all nice and neat for you.
You sent me all 6 again? Was
Yep.
it 6?
Yep, 6, but it's just one picture this time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make my job a little easier. Then now I'm more
Well,
inclined
yeah.
to do it. You know. Before I was like, I don't. No, man.
I don't want to do that again. That
Yeah.
was. So here's all 6, which was. Did you get it yet?
Not
No,
yet.
you haven't yet. Still. What's it? Your internet's going slow today.
It's like last week too,
Oh,
which
so
is weird. I mean, it goes fast every other time. You know, it's just
just right now when we're
right when we
like
need it.
doing stuff.
Right.
Anyway, so the 6 stadiums I have here were the Bees Stadium in Salt Lake, which was I think 20 or 15 or 20,000. The Jazz's Stadium, which is 20 something. The Yankee Stadium, which is around 40. Anyway, there's 6 stadiums and they all equal up to be right around 324,000.
Right.
So, did you put that one up? Oh yeah, we got both of them there. So that was the 6. So go ahead and retire that one and pull up the one below it.
Let me hurry. I wasn't on the screen. It's on the screen for us, but wasn't for everybody else. So
Oh, sorry.
these are the 6 right here. This one.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna retire that one and scroll down to this one.
Yeah. So go ahead and add 2 more stadiums there. We got Minute Maid Park with the Houston Astros Stadium with a capacity of 40,000, and Commercia. Nope, that's not right. It's I don't know. It's the Chicago White Sox Stadium, which is also right around 40,000. So just since we talked about this, which was a month ago, right around a little less than a month ago, we've added 80,000 more deaths.
So all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these stadiums at capacity is how many people have died in the United States from coronavirus.
Just the United States.
Just the United States.
And keep in mind, like, it took us a long time to get to
The 6.
the 6, and it took us even longer to get to just like 4 of them.
Right.
I mean, the rate of
It's
deaths
exponential.
has picked up dramatically.
Right.
So, I was listening to radio on the way here, and they said they expect at least 100,000 more within Biden's first 100 days.
Speaking of Biden's first 100 days, you hear his goal?
100 million vaccines.
1 million a day, essentially.
I mean, I'm down.
I'm down. Let's pull it off, dude. Let's go, Joe.
I'm also down with the 1,400. What do you think about his $1 trillion plan? What's it, Saving America plan?
I think it's very necessary. I actually haven't looked into the specifics. I know he's sending 1,400, which is not. It's a fraction of the whole thing.
Right.
Have you looked into it?
No, I mean, I just listened to his. I mean, it mostly made sense, I think. But man, trillion. That's a lot to swallow.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's going to be some Republicans who just kind of collapse in their seats and just like.
I mean, to be fair, it if the Republicans claim to be worried about the deficit now, it's the worst kind of hypocrisy.
Well, yes, it
So-
is well noted that the Republicans only care about it when they
Right.
aren't in office.
So, 1.9 trillion.
And we've never even done comparisons to trillion before. I mean, we've done all sorts of stuff for billions and
Yeah.
hundreds of billions, and
We'll put up a trillion comparison.
I don't know. I don't even know what that looks like. I
Well-
mean, isn't our closest star not even that far away? I mean,
That's a good point. I actually don't know.
1.9 trillion is how many miles in bills, in $1 bills?
A trillion seconds is 31,709 years.
Wow.
Years.
Wait. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait. What?
A trillion seconds is 31,709 years. Let me just put that on screen
Are
so
you
people
sure?
people can believe it right here. It's right there. A trillion seconds in years, second calendar year, 31,709 years. Okay? Should we do a billion just to put it in perspective?
That
31 years and 31.7 years is a billion. A trillion is 31,709 years. You move the decimal place three places. It sucks.
that
A million seconds 0.03 years.
Not even a year is.
Yeah. So a million. It may be the next step in our mathematical language, but it is really not the next step.
No, that's
It's huge.
wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, trillion is. We can't. Yeah, there's. It's hard to even comprehend a million, really. So
I don't know.
it's getting easier.
Yeah.
The older we get, it's easier to comprehend a million. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Well, moving on to cheerier news, the FBI is worried about a internal insurrection.
This scared me. All right, so I was talking to my brother last night. He lives in Portland, so he's seen his fair share of protests over the summer. He's participated. He's been there. He called me, and we were talking about January 6th and the response. And I actually told him this was yesterday because it was his birthday. Happy birthday. And Danny's birthday, by the way.
Oh,
So,
really?
I was telling him I actually feel, based on the response,
Mm-hmm.
I feel not as close to civil war as I did a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then this article came out tonight.
Right.
And now I'm a little bit more scared again. Okay? And just to give people a rundown here. And before people freak out, this happens at every inauguration. There's thousands of National Guard troops,
Mm-hmm.
and they always vet them.
Yeah, but it's not 25,000.
No,
This is
it's
more
about double.
This is more soldiers than we have overseas right
Right.
now.
This is about double what they normally bring in for a normal inauguration, and on the heels of an insurrection. So, the FBI makes it clear, though, that they always vet before the inauguration. Now, this is just another layer of vetting.
Mm-hmm.
Defense officials say they're worried about an insider attack or other threat from service members involved in securing President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration, prompting the FBI to vet all of the 25,000 National Guard troops coming into Washington for the event. Now, they started this as soon as they started to arrive the next day, January 7th.
Mhm.
They're confident it'll be done by Wednesday. Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy has warned commanders to be on the lookout for any problems within their ranks. So far, however, he and other leaders say they have seen no evidence of any threats, and officials said the vetting hadn't flagged any issues. And just so people know, the vetting includes just running names through databases. If they find something in there, maybe they post it to Parler, something like that. Then they bring them in for interviews, that kind of thing. Nevertheless, I saw the headline, and the AP normally doesn't try and scare you with headlines.
I don't know, man. Lately they've been a little less biased, I think. But then again,
The AP? Are you kidding me?
there's been
No.
some things in there. I'm like, oh, that's clearly
It's the truth. Now, if the truth
well,
sounds
maybe.
biased, yeah.
I mean, but yeah. Anyway,
I mean, this headline is FBI vetting guard troops in D.C. amid fears of insider attack. That's completely the truth.
did you know? Did you know that CNN has taken over the spot? Fox News' spot as top
Well,
cable news.
well, at least CNN can be sued.
No, that's what I'm just saying.
You know,
I'm just saying that
but I mean,
Fox News is not doing as well as they used
Right. But, for people who might complain about that, like, CNN can be sued for not telling the truth.
Right.
Fox cannot.
Why?
Because they argue they're not news. In every court case they're taken to for saying something false, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, all of them have said, well, we're not news, we're entertainers.
to. Right.
They don't tell their viewers that.
Right.
So, good. I'm glad. Nevertheless, this is the Associated Press, and it scared me. What do you think? Because Capitol Police were in on it.
Right. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff thrown around last week that was scary, like the report that came out that said that they had intentions to assassinate people, but then they retracted that,
Walked that back.
and they said no, that's not really the case.
However, we have video footage
Yeah,
of them
no,
chanting,
you're
"Hang
right.
Mike Pence."
You're right. I don't know. What it really comes down to is I feel like, I wish we had a clear number on how many people we're dealing with. Like,
Right.
what percentage of our population, because to say that these are Republicans is...
It's not true.
That's not true at
No,
all.
it's
Like,
not
these are
true.
not Republicans.
No.
They're not. They may think they are, but they're Trumpicans,
Right.
and so it's hard to get a number, and I think that having some, I mean, unless they're planning a Taliban style suicide mission, because
There might be people out there who would.
no, I know, you're
Yeah.
right, and that I'm more worried about assassination attempts than like a full on civil war, because
Right. That's true.
one guy turns his gun on people and then he's toast.
I mean, so they arrested a guy last night or 2 nights ago who was trying to smuggle a gun in, claiming to be part of inauguration security.
Oh,
Had a handgun and 500 rounds.
jeez.
I don't know, I guess in a backpack, I guess. So here's the deal, though. When I try and put myself in the shoes of someone in the National Guard, and certainly if something was going to go down and you're a soldier, you would probably hear about it through the grapevine, right?
Right.
So you're depending on people, you're depending on individuals to come forward if it's being talked about. Because imagine the chaos if people in the same uniform start shooting at each other.
right.
That's just chaos.
Right.
How would it stop? How would it end?
I would imagine that it would not end well for.
Because let's say a few of them start shooting at the other, and the others kill those ones, right?
Right.
How do you know when to stop? How do you know who not to shoot now? It's a really scary prospect, and the thing we have going for us is like, these guys that are in the same units tend to be pretty close to each other. It's hard to imagine them turning literally on their maybe not literally, but on their brother, so to speak.
Right.
So that, like I said, if you were on the ground as a guardsman, you would have to hear about it.
I would keep my ears open and my eyes, and that's what they've told the commanders to do, is to.
Imagine going to your sergeant though,
Mm-hmm.
or your lieutenant, and they're in on it,
Yeah, I mean,
and now you're dead. Right.
right.
It's scary, man. So I am all for. This isn't really being talked about very much, but I am all for canceling this.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know why we're.
swear him in the Oval Office.
I don't know why we're really. I mean, I
It's
can understand more if it was. But we got two things going. We got the pandemic and this,
Right.
and so there's an excuse to not do it.
Right.
Besides
Yeah,
backing
the
down
pandemic
from.
is reason enough.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess he just wants to keep face.
There is something to be said about that. Like we've talked about W during 9/11, how he wanted to be back at the White House for that night
Right.
and show, courage.
And I strongly believe that Joe Biden and Bush W and Bush Senior and Clinton were decent people.
Right.
I don't think that Trump is a decent person.
No.
And
Well, come on, guys. Like if you're still buying into, if you can't admit you've been conned by now, I don't know what to tell you. But I think he should just be sworn in the Oval, give a speech from the Oval, and just move on.
yeah, I
know?
think that'd be fine. But
Because shit, man. Like they put up that bulletproof glass around him, but
I don't know.
Like they found bombs, So it's scary.
Well, I do hope that all these people getting arrested and hopefully sent to Guantanamo and
Have you
No.
have you thought about the catch-22 that Trump is in right now?
what's that?
So you have the horned guy, the shaman, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was another woman from Colorado who turned herself in the FBI.
Right.
She gave a statement to the press though, saying, "I was just doing what the president told me to do. Therefore, I feel like I deserve a pardon, and I feel like all of us do."
Well, they're
So-
probably going to get it.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
Think about the catch-22 in this.
Yeah.
If Trump pardons them, then he's admitting that he did tell them what to do.
That's true.
If he doesn't pardon them, then they turn on him.
Well, you know that he doesn't care about
That's
them.
true. He only cares about himself. So I'm not entirely sure he's going to pardon them.
Well, there was something that came across today that said he's planning to pardon 100 more people on his last day. I don't know who those 100 are, but I'm sure one of them will try to be him. But
They're all part of the Russia investigation. Speaking of records that the Trump administration has set, besides insurrections, impeachments, and pardons, Trump administration carries out its 13th and final execution. It is more executions that the federal government has carried out under Trump than in the last 120 years.
wow.
Federal executions were on a 17-year hiatus until Trump came into office. He restarted them, and during his administration, he's executed.
When did they go on a
13.
hiatus? And why? Oh, was it
Would have been Bush, 2003.
when they ran out of the?
No, that's that's more of a state problem.
Oh.
The feds have never had a problem killing people.
Oh,
But yeah, none of the presidents ever like full on commuted sentences or changed them, right? But they put executions on hiatus because of Supreme Court going back and forth, leave it up to the states. But when it came to federal crimes, they didn't really know what to do. He was on hiatus. Trump comes in, kills 13.
Oh.
Now, listen,
Right.
I understand what these people did were probably very heinous crimes.
right.
And I understand why you might want them dead if you were the victim's family. But the more I think about it, the more I'm just kind of unequivocally against the death penalty.
Yeah,
I don't-
I do go back and forth on it a lot, and
Like
I don't know. I mean, one thing to consider though is, is life in prison really living? And
I think that guys on death row would say yes.
well, I suppose.
Here's
But the biggest concern I have is when they're executed and then found not guilty
Right.
later. And
how many of the what's the percentage of
I don't know.
right?
I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, I think that there are some instances where the case is so clear cut that the Unabomber, Timothy McVeigh, there's so much evidence, there's so much proof. The Unabomber pled guilty.
Right.
And so, I mean,
But what purpose does it serve?
I don't know.
It's not
Except
really.
for
Is it really a penalty to the
mean,
person? They're dead.
I was watching a documentary the other day about what was his name? The Game Show Killer was on ABC. And he killed a bunch of women. Horrible, just ugh.
Right.
And he got sentenced to death, and he got it repealed. 3 different repealed or
He filed appeals.
yeah.
Did he win?
No, 3 different times,
Sure.
and they all sentenced him to death. And the mother of one of these girls that this woman was so upset that she brought a gun to kill him to one of the court
Right.
cases.
Like I said, I understand.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And she was so distraught because he kept putting it off, and she ended up dying before he got executed.
Yeah.
And it was a huge thing for her.
Right.
And so I don't know. I've never been in, God willing, I never will be in that situation to where I have so much anger and hatred towards someone because they've taken something from me like that. But some of the cases like that, it's just like, I guess, what purpose does it serve? But what purpose does it serve keeping them around other prisoners and, indoctrinating or whatever, it may be? And what purpose is there in keeping them in solitary to just go insane?
Right.
I don't know.
I know. I've been there. I don't, like I said, I
To
can't.
death row?
No, I've been in your situation, going back and forth on it, and we've never really debated this topic, but
We have a little.
we've talked about it as one thing that in the future will probably be looked at as kind of.
well, yeah. I mean, once we can jettison them into space or put them on the moon or something.
like it. I just think that killing another person creates more victims, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like,
No, I mean, I
you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like,
I think it's just one of those things that I'm gonna have to just.
and I don't mean the perpetrator. I mean the perpetrator's family.
No, I understand what you're
You
saying.
know?
It's just one of those things that I'm just gonna have to wash my hands of and just, I'm okay with whatever they want to do, and then hope that I'm not in a position where.
Well, that's the scary thing, and you brought up a good point. How many wrongful executions is acceptable?
I don't think any. That's why I really.
So how do we take?
I don't think necessarily that killing a person warrants the death. I mean, that sounds, but especially when there's not,
like, I'm with you. The only thing I would ever concede here is maybe if the person pled guilty, maybe.
Well,
But even then,
yeah, they
some
could
people
be
plead guilty.
coerced
Right.
or-
We're talking like
But then there's
maintains
just-
their guilt
when
over
there's-
time.
When there's clear cases that are just, then I just don't know, man. Like, what's the point of keeping Timothy McVeigh around?
Because it's not really our place to kill someone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but it wasn't his
It's-
place to kill.
No,
all
but
those
but how
kids
is
and
it a
people.
punishment to Timothy McVeigh to kill?
You're right.
To kill him, right?
It's,
Like,
you're right, and it might be. I mean, and so, but then we're getting into like more unethical. Like, okay, killing him just puts him out of his misery. So let's
Right.
put him in a solitary
Well,
confinement.
so
and
there's two people. There's
I
two
just
groups of
don't know,
people
man.
that there's two groups of people we could lean on for information here. The first are the prisoners themselves, right? Would you rather die or be in solitary or be on death row, whatever it may be? And based on the amount of appeals we see,
Mm-hmm.
I think most of them would rather be on death row or just life in prison.
Right.
They would, you know what I mean, than die. The second group of people is victims' families about how they feel after the person is executed.
That is not something I've ever really. Is there any studies? Do you think on that?
I doubt it, but I would be very interested to know if
I can't imagine that. I mean, you hear about people who take revenge and get revenge, and
Sure.
they end up seeing like it didn't.
it
fix
didn't
anything,
help. I mean, it doesn't
fix
bring
anything.
anybody back.
Right.
I'm not one to say, though. That's why I'd be interested in talking to them, both for big, giant terrorist attacks like Timothy McVeigh, and then also single murders, right? How do you feel now that the person has been executed? Do you feel any differently? Do you feel any more comfortable that he's dead?
That is another thing, though. Is there is a certain this one woman I was telling you about that they feel like they cannot put it behind them until he is not around, until there's no possibility of him coming back and seeking revenge,
Which I get.
or anything like that.
I get.
And so if it's constantly it could be a psychological release to just know that there is no way that this person
true.
is coming back.
No, I get it. But that's not the person to ask, though. The person to ask is the person who said that, and then the person was executed.
Right.
And then you ask them,
Oh yeah, no.
did it work?
Yeah.
Do you feel better? Right?
Yeah.
Because part of the justice system is to make the victim of a crime feel better.
Right.
Sure. It's to make the community feel safer. Right now, I mean, if we're ever going to try and claim that our justice system is about rehabilitation, you're out of your mind.
No, yeah, it's not.
My view of the justice system right now is that it removes threats from society.
For
Whatever.
some amount of time.
Right. Whatever it is, if you're a threat to society, you're removed.
Basically, you're a threat to society. If it's a minor crime, you're a threat. You get put in jail.
Right.
You get to make friends and learn how to do crimes better,
Right.
and then go back and continue to be.
If you want to rehab, you're going to have to rehab yourself.
Or
'cause
if you're
no one's gonna
just
do it
if
for you.
you're if you happen to be a pothead and smoke a lot of marijuana and then go to jail for it,
Yeah.
then you get to go with real hardened criminals who do real hard drugs, and then things only go up from there, right? Instead of going to a rehabilitation center or or just what is it, Oregon that's just doing fines now? They're not
for
drug for
non-violent drug.
all
yeah.
drugs.
Yeah, they've
Like, how much more intelligent than that is than you got to go to jail and hang out with these rapists and murderers and
that's way better. It's way more de-incentivizing, right? Because a drug dealer, you get institutionalized pretty quickly in jail or in prison,
right,
to the point where going back isn't that big of a deal. And in fact, sometimes going back is more comfortable.
right.
So if we don't send them there in the first place and just make their life difficult by fining them, as long as it's not violent. You know?
I mean, maybe some people end up liking prison. You just hang out with your buddies all day.
They
and-
totally do. That's what institutionalized.
I mean, look at George Bluth.
That's what it means to be institutionalized. It's
Right.
your home, right? You go out and commit another crime to go back. It's your buddy. It's your home. You got a bed. You have meals. You can play cards all day. You can
I've
lift
seen
weights.
Orange is the New Black. I know.
You know.
Your lover's there.
Now it's not meant to be a happy place, and I'm not saying that it's not hard.
I've heard it's like Disneyland.
But to bring it back to the death penalty, right? I just don't know if state-sanctioned death is really ever the answer in a civilized society.
Well, a lot of countries don't do it anymore.
No, yeah, most countries that are analogs to the United States don't do it.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll just... If the vote comes up, I'll probably vote against it. But
I just found it interesting that Trump has carried out more federal executions than any president in the last 120 years. And I believe it's more in the last 56 years combined.
There was a backlog, that's why.
It's true. It's not, yeah. I'm not saying he did it, but obviously the buck stops somewhere, right?
Not with him. He's made that clear.
Right.
Anyway,
Oh.
so there I was the other day. One of my tasks currently for my job, hopefully not for that much longer, but anyway, is to take photos for badge photos.
Okay.
You know, your ID
Sure.
photo. And I was with the HR people, which they're the people that may listen. So shout out,
Shout out to HR.
Yeah, well, it's the people department. It's not HR anymore.
Oh, is that what they call it? The PD?
Like every company I've worked for switched it from HR to it's the people department.
So now it sounds like police department.
People, I don't know, whatever.
The SPD.
Are they part of? Anyway, so this lady comes in and she's very talkative, and she's older, definitely retired, and she's just she's a flight attendant, and she says this is something she's always wanted to do. And now that she's divorced and doesn't have kids in the house anymore, she's ready to try and do it. And so she's an older black woman. And part of the process that they have to do is get their I-9s and they have to fill out this form.
Sure.
And on it is a section for race.
Yeah.
And what she wrote on there kind of surprised all of us. She put, instead of black or African American, she just put N.
N.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. And I guess
Do you think she meant NA and the ink ran out?
No. I do not.
N. Huh. I mean, obviously your mind goes to one word,
Well,
but perhaps she meant Negro.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the other one.
That would be really weird, but it was kind of weird anyway.
Right.
But, huh,
Is that a thing? Was that a thing?
to refer to yourself as a Negro?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all their speeches, it was always about Negro.
all right.
That's how they referred to
Why do we even have to do that anymore? Why do we have to put down our race?
affirmative action and statistics.
I don't know, man.
It's companies like to self-volunteer that information so they can't be rolled under, right? In a lawsuit. They can say, no, out of all the employees we have that have self-identified, we got a good mix.
Right.
So, because I don't know how much affirmative action is actually forced on companies anymore.
Right,
but,
right.
I think it's all about that. There are some that I sometimes don't want to fill out. Not for race, but depression.
Well,
anxiety.
I was looking at my profile the other day, and I realized that it said that I refused to answer for my disability. And I was like, whoa, actually, I'm okay. I don't have any. I don't
That's
remember.
that's what I'm
I don't
talking
remember
about.
doing that, but now I kind of want to go back and be like, well, I don't have any disability. I mean, I'm
Right.
pretty stupid, but I don't think that's like a
Just a big block. Refuse to answer.
yeah. I'm
Well,
like,
you know,
whoa.
Spencer, now that we've gotten to this point of the interview, I'm going to go ahead and stop it, okay? I just want you to take a look at this sheet and decide if you'd like to change anything.
Yeah.
Would you like to change any of your answers before we move on?
Let's go over this. Race, non-Hispanic white. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Disability.
You don't have to answer, but
But most people do.
tell me when to stop. Diabetes, heart disease, inverted penis.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
Well-
hardly a disability.
Hardly. Hardly. So I was thinking about something today. I was filling our vending machines, but we had to go shopping first.
Oh.
So I got a big flatbed cart
Mhm.
at Sam's Club.
With the Sams.
And I realized that I was being judged based on what was on my cart. And I feel like you just shouldn't do that to people.
What was on your
Well,
cart?
because I fill vending machines. So I
Oh.
have like cupcakes, donuts, candy bars,
who
soda.
who do you think was judging you?
People stare at your
That's
cart,
what you
man.
do at Sam's.
You
is
look
buy
at-
it in bulk.
But you look at other carts. People look at your cart and they look
All
you know,
my friends' moms who shopped at Sam's growing up brought home like pallets of stuff.
right. But was it all junk? Because it's basically all I have in a vending
I'm
machine.
sure you're not the first vendor to go in there.
I know. I'm not saying the Sam's Club employees. I'm saying other members.
Screw them.
I'm
No,
walking.
I'm
I'm walking
joking.
by. They look at my cart. They see all these cupcakes, energy drinks.
You know, this kind
You
of
know?
brings me to something I've been wanting to talk about, and I know that we dove into it for just a second at some point, but and I got to thinking about it because they were talking about it on the radio again the other day, and judging people based on wearing or flying the flag, the American flag.
Yeah, we've talked about taking the flag back.
And I unfortunately have found myself as of late doing that.
For sure.
And I don't like that.
No.
And I don't know, you know, they've already cornered religion. Why
Right.
do they get the flag too?
No, I know. It pisses me off.
But at the same time, I don't want to be judged for wearing one.
I know what you mean. It's almost
Especially now, except for on Wednesday, I might go to work in camo just to just to make sure I blend in. And
That's awesome. You totally should. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. And, you know, the only thing that could help is if you were wearing, like, a Black Lives Matter hat. Wow.
that would make their heads explode.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
No, and we're not the only ones. I've heard other programs about bringing taking the flag back.
It's not theirs.
It's not. It's
they
not
don't even
anyone's.
understand it.
No, it's not anyone's.
Their flag is now the Trump flag, and I'm fairly certain there were more of those flying.
Well, and they keep desecrating it. You know, they keep the blue line one, the Trump, like the half Confederate. There's one that's a half Confederate. Like, who is printing that? You know, in China they got to be like, what is wrong with these fuckers? Like they're printing half traitor flag, half American
They're
flag.
like,
you know?
our government wouldn't let us do that.
I don't appreciate any change to the flag. You know, even the LGBTQ rainbow. I'm kind of like, all right, like
That's not a flag.
no, like when they change the stripes
Oh.
on the American flag.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, like you can fly a rainbow flag underneath the American flag.
What about when the military makes it like to blend in with their uniforms?
I like that. The military can do whatever they want.
Oh.
Okay. That's how I feel. But the other thing is, you know, when you start pummeling police officers with the American flag inside the United States Capitol, I think you've lost your rights to the flag.
Oh, and not only that, you clearly don't understand anything about it.
Right. These guys are fascists. Can I just say that out loud? These guys are. Listen. Let me just hurry quickly.
Are you going to define fascist?
Yes, because I just want.
Hitler was a fascist.
This is Wikipedia, is a form of far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and of the economy, ... Okay? Remove the far right. I don't care. But let's just look at the other things.
I mean,
Authoritarian ultra-nationalism. That's Trump.
right.
These guys are ultra-nationalists. They think that America is the only place that matters.
Mm-hmm.
We're the best country, without a doubt, simply because it's America.
Mm-hmm. And things were the best they were back in like the 1800s.
Right. Characterized by dictatorial power. These guys want Trump in power no matter what.
Right.
They went in there to kill Congress.
Mm-hmm. To start Gilead.
So that Trump could be their dictator. Forcible suppression of opposition.
So weird.
Forcible suppression of opposition.
Like, how many of them realize that?
They fit the definition perfectly.
I mean, have any of them watched like the History Channel or
It's unbelievable.
like
And then they say they're like, they hate Antifa. Like, fuck Antifa. What are you? What? What are you saying?
the Antifa stands for anti-fascism, just so you know.
I just don't get it. Like, you are fitting the definition of a fascist.
Now, this is going to sound mean, but if you watch videos of these people, you will realize that they're all kind of stupid.
I agree. Like the poor girl who got maced and
Do you see the Daily? What's the Daily Show guy's name?
Trevor Noah.
No.
Oh, Jordan Klepper.
Yeah,
I did see that.
And man, those people are stupid.
They're
And they're
stupid.
unhinged, and they're not well.
He interviewed a guy with a pitchfork,
Yeah,
and he asked him why he had a pitchfork, and he said
it's a symbol.
it's a symbol of farming. That's what he said.
Yeah. It was
You
all.
mean you didn't take it in there to?
It was all embarrassing. Like, it was the worst. Take everything. What? Oh, there's a
There's a
there's a
dog.
dog. Every cartoon character that people have made of America, and that was
Right.
it, man. They were all just cartoon characters. It was embarrassing. I
Right.
was embarrassed that
I don't get it. What do we do? Answer me this.
the
while I
dog
fix this.
knocked over the light.
Answer me this while I fix this light. What do we do with the Capitol Police who may or may not have been in on it? Let's say there were some that were. What do we do with them? And what do we do with the congressman who gave tours the day before to these guys?
Well, I really hope that all is proven without a doubt. That all happened. It sounds like it did. That's treason, and it's attempted murder, in my opinion. And I think being tried with sedition and attempted murder and conspiracy.
Well, murder at this point. Police
Yeah.
officer died.
Yeah, two of them killed themselves after too.
Yeah.
Which
It's kind of weird.
that's a little sketchy.
Kind of
right?
Manchurian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like there's speculation that three Congress people, I think,
Yeah.
were giving tours the day before
Mm-hmm.
to some of the seditionists.
Right.
And then we have
They are
footage.
saying that they placed radio devices in there now
Yeah.
too.
And we have footage of a woman on a megaphone saying this is the direction to go. And we also have footage of Capitol Police opening the gates and the doors.
Right.
Ah, man, what do we do with these guys?
Well, that's where it gets tricky.
Their crime's got to be
because-
worse than the people who go in, right?
The same.
Okay. I mean,
I guess they're breaking their whatever vow they may
Well,
have taken or
and now you're
whatever,
look-
their job. They should definitely lose their job.
well, now you're looking at pre-planning, right? This isn't
Right.
this isn't a riot that got out of hand,
No,
right?
it's looking more and more like it was.
So then
like
you have
a
a conspiracy charge.
conspiracy. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just
I-
disgusted with the whole thing.
I honestly don't know how many of these people realize the gravity of what they did.
No, I don't think
and what they're doing.
they're facing 20 years in prison plus. Plus.
Yeah, I don't think they understand.
That's without a sedition charge.
Yeah, I don't think they understood what they were doing.
Right.
And that's because they're kind of
It's a cult.
they're,
a cult.
they're a little bit brainwashed,
Yeah.
and I don't understand the mentality. To preserve freedom, we have to have a dictator. I don't.
That's what I'm talking about. Like You're saying you love America, you love democracy, but really what you want is fascism. I don't understand.
I can't help but feeling like this is how Germany was in the late 30s.
Yeah. And it was
'Cause,
only 33% of the country.
Yeah, and it was divided between right and left.
Yeah.
Very, very much like it is here, very maliciously.
Scapegoat an entire group of people.
Right.
Blame all their problems on that
right.
one group.
And fake news, lies. They the
destroy the media's
in order to go
reputation.
after Poland. They had a red flag operation and dressed people up in Polish uniforms, and these are the same kind of people.
Right.
And
They'll go to treasonous lengths in the name of their country, quote unquote.
Right. But it's not.
Right.
And honestly, I think they're a bunch of military rejects that couldn't get into the military, that bought into all these conspiracies. And, I mean, if they had planned that much, they didn't get very far.
That's true.
You know, if they really did as much planning as we're thinking they did,
touche.
Then
that's their defense.
Yeah. I mean,
their defense is there's no way this was planned. Look how poorly it went.
Yeah. And honestly, and this is going to sound weird too, but having I used to play airsoft back in the day, and there was a lot of those people there.
Sure.
And they just want to play soldier.
Right.
And I can't help but think that that's what a lot of these groups are.
Well, yeah. And they're just weird backwards thinking, right? So the dude with the horns.
Yeah.
Famous guy now. There's video of him.
He needs organic food.
Yeah. There's video of him on the floor of the Senate praying.
Yeah.
Thanking God and
there
thanking
was
Christ.
A lot of this was done in the name of Jesus.
Right. They were praying on the floor of the Senate shortly after he wrote a note to Mike Pence that said, "Your time is coming."
Well, you remember the time in the Bible, I believe it was the New Testament, when Jesus
tried to overthrow
and
the
his
emperor.
apostles
Right.
went into Little Caesars,
right,
and overthrew everybody. You know, they stormed the
It's true.
the government.
Jesus threw over tables.
Yeah, and he, he's like, "I'm president. I didn't lose."
Right.
I remember that story well.
Yeah. There was fraud. There was widespread. It was Judas. Judas widespread.
I want to talk to these people. I want to talk to them face to face, but they're so stuck in their stupid fantasy.
You know, talking about interviewing them, though, like, I bet you we're going to have some fascinating documentaries coming up. Because these people are going to get interviewed, right?
Well, yeah, but
once they're in prison.
But the thing is, though, they do get interviewed, and what they say doesn't make any freaking sense.
It's true.
It doesn't follow. It never follows. It is always like, why are you doing this? Well, Jesus told us to. Oh, doesn't Jesus like peace and say love one another? And
right.
Yeah, but freedom.
Why are you doing this? It's a revolution. Against what?
They don't even know what they want. They just want Trump in power for some reason. But he's not. Even if Trump stays president, if Trump were to stay president right now, his hands he can't do anything.
Right.
He's got a Senate and a House that are against him for the next 2 years.
Right.
At a minimum.
That's the beauty of our republic.
And so what? Is he going to do executive orders that get shot down immediately?
Right.
I mean, he would get impeached within a month.
Right. The silver lining here, if you want to know, is comparing us to a constitutional republic that's not working. Right? So let's take a look at Russia right now.
Right.
Alexei Navalny?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Opposition leader.
Got poisoned by
Putin. Got poisoned, went to Germany to heal, right?
Why did he come back?
He tried to fly back.
Why did he come back?
Guys, he was arrested at the airport. Putin had him arrested at the airport.
You didn't die like you were supposed to.
So, here's some silver lining.
Yeah.
Not quite to the point of killing opposition leaders yet.
Yet. But if Trump and his cronies were in power, then this is what the kind of stuff we're looking at, man.
I think we have a judicial branch and a legislative branch that still hold things together. And that's my point,
Well,
because the
they
legislative
didn't realize what was happening, I guess, because they were on board for every stupid. And then it's like Bill Barr and Mitch McConnell just were like, oh,
shit.
well.
Yeah. By the way, what a power play by Mitch to say, we're not going to have this impeachment trial until after the new Congress is in. He did that on purpose
Why?
because he wants to distance himself from Trump. He has a way more likely chance of Trump being convicted if it's after everyone else is, because guess who can't be removed from office?
It kind of seems that Mitch may not actually like Trump at
Yeah.
all.
He did this completely on purpose. If he wanted to save face with Trump, he would have had the trial right now. Right? Because you'd have a lot more Republicans less likely to vote to convict because they don't want to remove him from office. They don't want that stain. Now he won't be removed from office if you convict. He's just convicted. And then you can vote with a simple majority to never have him hold office again.
Right.
Which is the whole reason they're doing this, by the way. Not the whole reason. You're also setting a precedent that this isn't okay. But when people say, like, don't have the impeachment, no. Two things. You got to set a precedent that this kind of behavior is unacceptable. And two, no one thought Trump would win in 2016. So if he runs in 2024, we can't count him out.
Right.
So we need to make sure he can't run in 2024. For anything. What if he moved to Alabama and ran for Senate?
Ooh.
Right? That's scary shit.
He's pretty old, isn't
He
he?
is
Die
old.
Soon?
I don't care though. We can't take that risk, man.
Yeah.
He cannot be allowed to run for office again.
Maybe he's just gonna go to Florida and try to start a revolution in Florida.
I think
I think that's fine.
listen.
We
I'm
give
not
all those people Florida
I'm not trying to be
and see how it goes for them.
I'm not trying to be similar to Q here at all. Okay? But
Q?
QAnon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fictional character from Star
No,
Trek. Q is
Because we have
from the Q continuum.
we've got 3 days left.
Uh-huh.
He could still flee.
Yeah.
He still has Air Force One.
Well, he did say he wants a lot of fanfare on his way out early Wednesday morning.
Right. But he could flee the country. He's facing indictments.
Do you think that Air Force One would...
He's the commander-in-chief until Wednesday.
Yeah, but...
The pilot's like,
Is
oh,
he?
the stick is stuck. We're circling
Yeah,
back.
sorry, there's no gas in the plane. It's going to take 3 days to fill this bad boy up. It's big. Look at it. It's big.
Man. We don't have
747.
we don't have any refueling
Yeah.
tankers in the air. I don't know, sir. We got an Air Force One situation.
Do you know our the tankers in our Air Force are all like 55 years old?
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, I guess.
Where does all the money go to then?
Programs to build new stuff, probably.
Our defense budget is so stupidly big.
It probably has to do with aliens.
It's true. It's true. What was the thing called last week? The Space Federation?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling Ashley about it. The Federation of Aliens.
That the Israeli Prime Minister says that we're part of?
Yeah,
Or
well, we're
we
not.
know of?
We know it. We're not.
Haven't
They
been
won't let us
invited
in yet. Yeah, they won't let us in yet. I like it.
That's because, in my opinion, Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, is actually like a precog that, or an alien visitor
No.
that came and told his story, or he's from the future.
Speaking
I
of
guess.
precogs, did you see Matt Groening again?
What?
On The Simpsons
What?
predicted the storming of the Capitol.
I know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's a new one. You'll have
Huh.
to find it for the middle of the show.
Huh? I didn't know.
It's like Lisa's learning about how an amendment becomes an amendment. And it's
Okay.
that old, like, I'm just a bill on Capitol. Like that old song, right?
Right.
And it's a play on that. And this amendment's like, it like tells a bunch of rhymes like, there's too many leftists burning the flag. I want to let the police beat them. And then he gets passed, and he's like, come on in, boys. And they all run up the stairs into the Capitol.
Actually, I do feel like I've seen this.
It was like in 1996 or something.
Jeez.
He did it again. The son of a bitch did it again.
Well, he's probably part of the same race that
That's true.
Gene Roddenberry was from.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, find that clip for the break, but
I
we
will.
should take one.
Already? No, I'm just kidding. All right. When we come back, you're not going to believe this, but we do have random headlines.
Yes.
Possibly 4 of them. We'll see. Also, we'll probably figure out something with the who the hell Googled this.
Yeah.
Maybe guess which wing. I don't know.
Still waiting for suggestions on Google, by the way.
Yeah,
Let us know.
No one ever does that.
I know.
We're
Come
not
on,
one of
guys.
those cool podcasts that have interactions with people. Anyway, all that and probably not more when we come back.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you these random headlines.
We're back. Find us at
true.
the Artake Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, or theartakepodcast.com.
Also, we have a band, and we don't talk about it enough. And
It's true.
we want listeners. We want people to listen to our music and love it like we do.
Right.
Because I listen to our music a lot, and it's because I wrote music that I liked, and so did Brian. And Brian, we're basically Linkin Park. I mean, we're as good, at least. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just joking. I mean, we have close to the following they do.
It's pretty close.
What-
We haven't.
They don't have more than like 20 listeners, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's up there.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, listen to the Artake podcast, and then when you're done, jam out to Rejected Takeoff on all platforms and say you love it. Buy some merch. I don't know. Our shirts are pretty cool. I probably should make some new ones.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Mostly, just listen to it and tell people.
Yeah.
Same thing you do with the
How
show.
do bands get popular? Like, is that really what happens? Like, hey, dude, you should check out this band. Because I can't really think of a time that I've done that in my life. I
No?
can think of at least twice that someone's done that to me, and I ended up liking the band a lot. I
Uh,
mostly have got my new music from going to shows and hearing a band and being like, I like that.
That's true. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have found a few more lately by doing like iTunes Radio and letting the algorithm.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't
Speak to
gone to
me.
shows in a long time. That's probably why I haven't
Right.
picked up any new bands. And it's not, I mean, obviously I go to a show to see a band, but it's always the opening band
Right.
that I'm like, oh, this is, like, that's how Theory of a Dead Man's now, like, one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
And they opened for Three Doors Down. I'd never heard of them before, even though they were pretty big. But
yeah.
I just heard them. I was like, oh, same with Boys Like Girls. They opened for Good Charlotte. Anyway, random headlines
Brought to you by Rejected Takeoff.
brought to you by a Rejected Takeoff, which is when an airplane is about to take off and then it decides not to.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
I watched a video about it today, and you knew how they can't use reverse thrust, I guess, because I don't remember what they said. But anyway,
Who can't?
the plane, they have to use all brakes, basically, and spoilers. So it showed this video of a 747-800 testing a Rejected Takeoff, because they have to test it out before they can, and it stops, and the brakes are almost on fire. Like, there's flames coming out of the brakes and smoke, and they're glowing, and they said it gets to up to around 2,500 degrees.
Whoa.
The brakes do, and then the tires automatically deflate.
Interesting.
But-
so it must be like if the engine won't. They're anticipating the engine won't reverse thrust.
There was some. I don't know. Maybe
Like
I can't remember. There was some reason.
like
I
you're
don't remember what it
anticipating
was.
everything that could possibly go wrong.
Well, no, because there's a switch you set to RTO, Rejected Takeoff, and you just once you start braking on takeoff, then everything comes up, the brakes lock, and it just kind of does it for you. But I can't remember why they said you couldn't use reverse thrust. Now this was a 747 at almost 1 million pounds, like weight. They weighed
Right.
it down with everything.
Right.
So if you're on a regular passenger plane, you're probably not going to have the tires deflate and the brakes catch on fire. But
It's interesting though. All the fail safes.
yeah, it's crazy.
Hmm.
Anyway, snakes on a plane. No. So as you know, snakes can slither.
Yes.
They can sidewind. They can swim on top of water. They can jump. They can glide between twees.
Tweez?
trees. But they've recently, scientists have recently discovered a new trick that
Okay.
these snakes have kind of evolved to do.
This is what you sent me here.
Yeah, so it's a this is an invasive species in Guam, I believe.
Does this have sound, or should I just play? Is it just
I don't know that it has. I don't think it has
All right,
any
so we're
really relevant sound.
4 major types of snake locomotion, recognized for nearly 100 years?
So
They've
pause
discovered a-
pause this for just a
Okay.
sec, and let me tell you what happened here.
Okay.
So this snake is the brown snake. The brown, I think that's what it's called.
It's called the brown snake.
Where is it at? The brown. Well, we'll just
I
say
wonder
it's
if
the
I-
brown snake.
I wonder if I go out here if it'll tell me. Climb out.
Brown tree snake.
Brown tree
Pretty
snake.
freaking close. And it's an invasive species to Guam, and it's been decimating their bird population by slithering up the trees and eating eggs and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Is
So what they did to stop them is put these metal cones to keep them from, or not cones, but barriers on the trees to keep them from slithering up the trees.
is this an actual? Is this nighttime footage
Yes.
that we were looking at there?
I believe so.
And that's the cone that he's trying to get up, but he can't.
Well, do you see what he's doing? So he has sort of evolved and figured out a way to get up this metal thing. Instead of slithering up,
Oh, okay.
he is
So
going up
before
like shimmying up essentially.
So before they actually didn't need to wrap around it. You're saying?
No, they just slither up the bark because the bark
Oh,
is
wow.
it's they can stick to it.
So here
but they
he's
can't stick to this metal.
he's turned himself kind of into a knot.
Well, they say a lasso, but
Mm.
it's basically the same concept as like the pole workers, you know, the electric pole guys that
Right.
kind of loop themselves up to the top.
So he's literally looping his tail around his body on the other end, and just kind of shimmying, like you said, shimmying.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy, right?
that's a quick evolution.
That's smart. It's a smart snake. Now, apparently, this is not super great for the snake. Like is very tight because this is 5 times speed, so it's going pretty fast.
Yeah, that was
but
really slow.
They
then.
say
Okay.
that the snake takes a lot of breaks and is very tired by the time it actually gets up to the tree. So it's not the best thing for them to do. But it's crazy that they
that is crazy.
that they have figured that out. That's crazy,
That's-
right?
yeah.
They tie themselves in a knot.
That's freaking crazy. That's super weird. Like, I don't. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. I don't know.
And to do it that quickly, like,
Yeah.
huh? I wonder if they've seen more than one do it now.
I think so. I'm
So
pretty sure.
what's their solution now?
Well, they're saying that because it's such a struggle for the snakes that it's not really like
Hmm.
that. You know, the snake's only going to go up there if it like absolutely has to, I guess,
Right.
because it's not a great way to get up there.
That's really slow.
And they
Yeah.
slip and they stop and they have to rest and they breathe heavily. Poor snakes, man. Give them snakes some
Well, I think
pellets.
I
or
thought
some,
that
I
like
don't
I
know.
thought you were gonna say like, well, at this point they just decided that the snake won, and he can have his
This
feast.
snake is smart. Just wow.
Just let him have it,
Wow.
man.
I mean,
He's smarter than the birds, obviously. What are we
they
doing
need
here?
to move. When a snake moves into the neighborhood, you got to sell. You know, you
Right.
got to sell and get out of
Sell.
there. Our next story comes out of Taiwan, and it's a Guinness World Record.
All right.
Now, remember that lighting porta potties
With LEDs.
with LEDs could not be a record.
Right.
But a man that blows no.
Literally.
So the guy here, he blows a big, huge bubble,
Okay.
and then he blew 783 bubbles inside.
Okay, I just found it.
Yeah. And that was, I guess, I don't know what the
He blew bubbles in a bubble.
right.
What if, like, so the record is just how many bubbles he got inside the bubble.
I guess.
What if he accidentally created a bigger bubble, and it ruined his record?
Then it would be they'd have to cancel it, you know?
Someone had to watch this in slow-mo and count.
I don't know who's paying for Guinness to do this stuff, but they need to stop. I mean, that just
Well, some of these work their way to the outside. That should be DQ'd. Disqualified right there.
Oh yeah.
You can't have that.
They're not really joining the outside. How do you count all those bubbles?
You're counting them. What? Get out of here. You're counting them like. Got to be like
Two,
right
three,
there.
4, 5, what do you got? Like a 1,000 frames per second camera or something?
783 bubbles inside of a much larger bubble.
Why do people even do this?
I don't know.
Like, is it to pick up women? Like, hey, did you know?
You seen the bubble guy? That's me.
That's me. I can blow 783 bubbles into
Well, I'm just bugged that the
a big bubble. Will you
LEDs,
sleep with me, please?
the LEDs aren't accepted,
But this is.
but this is. That's just,
I don't know, man.
I don't know, some sort of discrimination, I would think.
Our next story comes from outer space.
Okay.
I was
Oh, you were being.
no, it is.
Oh.
It's from space, the space station. But I was
Oh.
watching more stuff on Warp Drive last night.
You gotta stop,
Yeah.
man.
But did you know that the Earth warps space-time as it twists or as it turns?
I mean, that makes sense.
And once they can figure out why, then they'll understand why with there's gravity. And then, well, yeah, anyway.
I thought it was gravity that was doing it.
No,
That's warping space time.
no.
Well, what is it?
They don't know.
Well, then that's stupid. I'll wait till the documentary comes out that figures it out.
There's a lot of YouTube videos out there of crazy people. No. Anyway, the International Space Station bid adieu Tuesday to 12 bottles of French wine and hundreds of snippets of grapevines that spent a year orbiting the world in the name of science.
Huh.
SpaceX's Dragon cargo capsule undocked with the wine and vines and thousands of pounds of other gear and research, including I'm glad they sent the mice back
So
so they can feed them to the snake.
did they brought the wine up and then they're sending it back?
Yeah.
They didn't like make the wine.
It does.
Did they make the wine on the space station?
I don't think so. I think the grapevines were there.
So they just
growing.
wanted to see how wine would age in zero gravity.
I guess. I mean, those are the things we're going to need to know for long-term space travel.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. We need to know. We need to know this stuff.
Each bottle was placed inside a steel cylinder to prevent breakage. Remain corked aboard the orbiting lab. So I guess they were corked the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
dude, they're gonna have an out of this world wine tasting. How much is that gonna cost?
Oh, dude, it's going to be like
Space wine.
a lot.
Yeah,
I hope they call it space wine.
they should. And then they're gonna test it.
You know, we've really never been to space.
It's
We've
true.
never broken orbit
Right.
because the moon orbits. We've never broken orbit.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Well, but
No.
I mean, during Apollo, there was a time when they were in neither's direct pole. They were just their trajectory was
Well, we haven't left orbit.
translunar injection is what it's called.
I'll give you a translunar injection.
TLI.
Oh, where did this page go? Well, it was about a dog and a goat mayor, but now I can't find it. Anyway, I guess a dog.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. Where did my oddities go? Oh, there it is. Dog and goat serving as mayor to raise money for a playground in Fairhaven, Vermont. A dog and a goat who were each elected mayor. I wonder how they did that. Like,
Yeah, that's not fair.
did they? I mean, we don't have like separate species elections. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Nor do we have two. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
was
kinda
one of them
weird.
vice or lieutenant?
I don't know. In 2018, Fairhaven residents elected Lincoln the Goat as its honorary mayor. Why make it honorary?
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
what do mayors really do?
Yeah. No, just
I like we should try an experiment to see if a town can run sufficiently with just a goat mayor.
well, did he not win the popular vote? Like it's no longer honorary if he
Well,
won the popular vote.
Honestly, it was stolen from him. There was a lot of fraud, from what I'm hearing. The Dominion machines,
Right.
um,
Change the votes.
they changed
from,
the votes
from the sheep.
from the other goat.
Yeah.
And So yeah, so I don't know. They raised like $20,000, and I don't know. It's a goat and a dog as mayor.
How do they raise money?
I don't know.
Like
How do politicians raise money? It's the same way. They start a super PAC.
somebody like called citizens of this town, were like, "Hey, did you see that we made a goat the mayor? You want to give us $5 for a park?"
That is. They use T-shirts and masks. They made masks and sold them.
All right. I mean, okay.
Do you really?
I mean,
need
it's a really weird conspiracy to think of here. Like, I have an idea. We need money for that park. What if? Hear me out. Hear me out.
Whoa! Before you even, I have an idea. Goat.
That's where I was going.
Oh my gosh! I never would. Oh wow.
It's a goat.
Me and you, man.
And then
Great minds think alike.
And then we take that goat, we put it on a mask.
Right.
We sell the mask.
Right.
Yeah, I mean.
And we'll make $10,000 and buy a park.
And there's Shirley in the back that's like,
I would
why
like
don't
to
we
have
just sell
been
the mask without the goat? Get out of here, Shirley!
Shirley, you stupid bitch! Get out of here! All in favor of removing Shirley from the board.
Seconded.
God, I've never been so insulted. Not put a goat on the mask. Well, what do you suggest we put on there? A giraffe?
What are we, New Hampshire?
This is Vermont, and in Vermont we do goats, and then we put them on masks, and we make money. I don't
Seriously,
know, man.
where did you come from? Oh, that's good.
Oh, anyway, that's random headlines for you.
Awesome. Well, we still don't have a sound, but who the hell Googled this?
Well, hold on,
Oh.
I've got the French music. Welcome to
Jeopardy.
Hey, too soon, man.
What, Jennings is doing it?
Why are they just not making him host? Why are they like, he's a temporary
I don't know.
host, and then he's like, I don't want to be host. Just do it, man. It's
Just
a freaking steady,
do it.
steady gig.
Do it, Ken.
Don't they do like all the filmings in a week or something,
Probably.
and then you're off?
Right. All right. Ashley sent me some. Let's see. I got to get rid of that ad. There we go. Let's see. Where did it go? Oh, I don't know how to.
Wipe.
I don't know how to love him.
Lame.
I don't know how to explain to you.
Jesus Christ, superstar.
That's the first response. All right. How about just I don't know how? No, it's too many songs.
But
too
they
many
found me.
songs.
That's a local band. Remember we did a show with the singer of I don't know who, but they found me.
Really?
Yeah, he was in
the
Brobecks.
The Brobecks, Dallin
and
Weeks.
then Dallin, and then he played bass for
Panic.
Panic at the Disco,
Yeah.
and now he's doing this and guys
Yeah,
having
good
lots
guy.
of success. He's
Dallin's a
pretty
good guy.
cool, actually.
Okay, she sent me another one. It is how to take down.
Your pants?
How to take down
A dog crate.
a firewall. Flying Guardians. This must be a video game reference.
You know.
How to take down the government.
That's frightening. That's the first freaking.
The first one for how to take down
I hope
the.
Google's paying attention to this. And then the second one's the internet, and then people are playing Skyrim.
And then how to take down the patriarchy.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what's the Marlboro? That's not a cigarette?
No, that's Marlboro. I don't know what Marlboro is. Oh, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Okay. How about how to find?
What happened to my French music?
I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry.
What the Siri?
Siri.
Get out of here!
Freaking Siri.
Surely.
what the?
How to find slope? No, there's just cheated. You're cheating. You need to know how to find the slope. That's something over
Yeah,
B, if I
have
remember
you
right.
used that a lot in your career?
Yeah. Yeah. You got any more?
Where are my?
Downloads.
Where's
Where-
my porn?
Where are my testicles, Summer? What? Where are
Oh,
my
it's from Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay.
It's from Rick and
Okay.
Morty. You see, in Rick and Morty,
Sure.
Rick gives the dog a helmet that makes the dog super intelligent, and then he comes in and talks to Summer, the
Oh,
girl,
okay.
and he's like, "Where are my testicles, Summer? Where are my testicles?"
Oh, what else? What does it mean when
A dog
a
licks
dog
you.
licks you?
You dream.
When your poop is green?
We've done this one.
Have we? Yeah,
I
we.
don't
I think
know.
we have. I think we have. I think you're right. Damn it!
There's only so many to
Damn
do.
it! We've reached the end of Google.
Have we ever done what color is my
Color is my. Yeah, I think we. I think
aura?
we have.
Dog hair.
We did that one.
What color's my lightsaber?
We did this. We're so unoriginal with ourselves.
Well, if people would just
Yeah.
tell us what to Google.
Right.
This was such a great segment, and now it's ruined.
I dream of
Genie?
Genie.
Well, yeah.
Genie, isn't it? Oh, okay.
What?
Never mind.
What?
I thought I saw something weird down here. But I didn't. It's
Yeah.
okay.
No, you didn't. That was really stupid of you.
Am I supposed to
Apologize?
bathe my cat?
Get a stimulus check.
Am I supposed to poop every day?
Oh, I've Googled that before. But it's am I supposed to poop 8 times a day?
Listen, I had a friend once who pooped once a week.
What?
Once a week. And he told me that he was healthier than me because his body was using all of the things he was eating. Therefore, he had less waste because I
mean-
poop like 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least, or more, depending on if I
Right.
had Betos or not.
yeah. So, all right. Well, you know what? Suggest more shit if you don't like it, okay? If you don't like it, then suggest more shit. Like, coming after me about this, I don't like it.
I don't. Who was?
I just, that's what I'm just saying. Don't
We haven't done this in a while.
guess which wing.
Guess which wing?
All right. Thanks for playing it twice.
That's a bird flapping and then
right.
like wings.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
So.
Yeah.
This is where I read Brian the same story, headlines from the same story on allsides.com. Now, allsides.com is a website that takes a story and presents the opinions of different news organizations from
Right.
the right, left, and center. And then Brian will need to decide which side this is on.
Guess, really.
Yes.
Yeah. Decide which side.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is about the unrest. Guard troops pour into Washington as states answer the call. Kind of generic.
Kind of generic. I'm gonna go left.
That's correct.
All right.
Oh my gosh. I'm so embarrassing.
Oh.
Now, on the right, it just says 25,000 National Guard troops deployed to the Capitol's Biden inauguration. Wait, and this is how you can tell it looms.
Yes.
And that's from Fox News.
The stupid left-wing government sent in troops
Yeah, basically.
after the Patriots stormed the Capitol.
And then from the center, it says it was a non-event. U.S. Capitol see few protests after bracing for violence. There was supposed to be stuff happening this
Yeah.
weekend.
And there were armed protesters at the Capitol today.
Yeah,
About a
but
dozen of them.
they apparently were.
Utah Capitol, by the way.
They were like not really.
Sure. They were proud boys.
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were.
They were like. I read a quote that's like, we don't believe in the dictator Donald Trump. So I don't know.
What are you doing here, bro?
I don't know.
What are
I
you?
was-
Come on, bro.
I was very confused.
We're pro. We're pro Biden.
Okay.
'Kay.
This is about the NRA.
Oh man, this is big news. We didn't even talk about.
I know.
It's fake news.
It's
but
not really
yeah,
that big of news because anyway.
It's fake. I mean, it's real, but it doesn't mean anything.
NRA files for bankruptcy, announces it's ditching New York for Texas.
Right.
Bonus points if you can guess their news organization.
I'm right. Ditches New York. I mean, I'll just go simple. I'll go Fox.
Fox News.
Yes.
From the left, all it says is National Rifle Association files for bankruptcy. They don't want to dive into why,
Right.
How it's not really that big of a deal.
How they have the most money they've ever had.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
then
trying to ditch a
The
lawsuit.
center is very center from Reuters. National Rifle Association files for bankruptcy, seeking to escape New York lawsuit.
Stupid NRA
Yeah.
leaving beautiful New York for ugly Texas.
Yeah. Why are they even in New York? Isn't New York a pretty liberal state, is it not?
I have no idea,
don't
but they've
know.
been around a long time, and the NRA wasn't always a right-wing thing.
Oh, so they took that too, huh?
Yes, the NRA was like pro-gun education and
They still are, supposedly.
yeah, like limits. Anyway, they're being sued in New York, so they're filing for bankruptcy and reincorporating in Texas to try and avoid a lawsuit. Very Trump. It's a very Trump thing to do.
I know. All right, one more.
Okay.
Biden White House Chief of Staff lays out executive action heavy 10-day agenda.
Heavy 10-day agenda. Left.
Really?
Don't judge me. Like
Biden White House Chief of Staff lays out executive action heavy 10-day agenda.
well, it was the heavy that got me. I thought
Well, it's executive. They're
know what?
afraid of executive orders.
here's what happened.
Huh.
When you said Biden, I heard Trump.
Oh.
That's really what happened.
And then the left just says, this is the New York Times, Biden seeks quick start with executive actions and aggressive legislation.
I still would have got it wrong, but I heard Trump.
And then from the center, which is almost always Reuters, Biden plans roughly a dozen day one executive actions.
Well, but yeah, I mean, two of them are ending the racist Muslim ban, and the other one is rejoining the Paris Climate Accord.
We've talked about executive orders and how everyone freaks out, but
Everyone does them.
yeah, no one's ever
Yeah.
going to come close to
Go-
FDR
Just
until,
go,
and if
yeah,
they
that's
do,
true.
then
FDR, man, he had so many. Just fight him in court if you've got a problem. All right, that's
Yeah.
what the system's there for.
yeah.
All right,
Well,
is that it?
I got one more quick thing.
Well, I was going to talk about our prediction. Is that where you were going?
What are our predictions?
From Rejected Takeoff.
what?
Our prediction.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the song that we wrote, "Writings on the Wall," which people really like for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but I'm
You
just
you prophetically made this song artwork here.
see. There's a wall and it has writing on it.
Right. But in the shadow of the wall,
You have to look really close, but
right
it's there.
here, you see this slight outline with a dome right there? That is a capital.
Yeah.
And it's En Fuego.
It's true.
So
True.
Spencer is a seer.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know,
I like to look in my hat though.
yeah.
When I
I've tried it. It doesn't work.
Urim.
You're yeah. Anyway, yeah.
One-
Go ahead.
No, one final thing before my computer dies at 6%. But
That's
anyway,
how we decide when to end the show. By the
yeah,
way,
I have my charger, but I was contemplating the universe. You know, I've been obsessed with aliens and because it just sounds so much better than here.
yeah.
But I finally was able to peg down. I never really finished my thought last episode, saying how it's possible for us to even get as far as Mars, but you see the stars out there and you can't get there, and it's infuriating.
Yeah.
And I realized that I feel like I'm in a cage. Now, granted, it's a giant cage, and I can go anywhere I want.
Listen,
and,
the size of the cage is all relative, though.
no, you're right. You're right.
All right.
And then this got me thinking about my birds.
Mm.
Okay. Now, I have one bird named Ferd, who's a girl, who's the mom of all the babies.
All of them. Yeah.
And back the first year that we got her, my stupid ex-wife let her escape. Now,
Really?
well, it was an accident.
But she came back.
Well, it was I don't give up on my pets, and it was a long, all-day affair, and eventually we were able to get her. But she flew all. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
It was.
Did you put up posters and shit?
No. We had sights on her almost all day.
Wow.
She got up in the birds. You descending is an art.
Yeah.
And when you get into a giant tree, descending probably seems a little more complicated than just jumping off a couch or something. So.
Sure.
But luckily, we got her.
That's crazy.
Now, all my other birds have never escaped. And, they don't know any different. Now, I, unlike a lot of bird owners, let my birds free. They are just, when I'm gone, they're in their own room, but they're never in cages.
Right.
And it's basically like my living area is their universe, is their planet.
Sure.
And they sometimes look out the windows, but they don't seem to really care, except for Ferd. She looks out the window longingly.
She knows.
She does.
Yeah.
And I was like, me and Ferd, we feel the same way.
Yeah.
I mean.
And you haven't even been to space.
I know, but I can see it.
Yeah. If you could go anywhere in space, where would you go?
Well, that's the thing is, I don't want to explore Mars. I want to go to another planet with life and see what.
With beings,
yeah,
with
and
intelligent
understand
beings?
what more about what the universe is.
Yeah.
Like, do they look like us, or do they look like octopuses? Do they look like,
Yeah.
There's things that we can't even comprehend that I want to be able to see. But it's frustrating because I'm gonna die way before anything like that happens.
We'll see what Musk comes up with.
Unless aliens arrive.
Right. We need the Federation. They can hear this.
Yeah, I know. I hope so. They listen.
We're ready.
I get a lot of
We can handle it.
a lot of listens from Andoria or wherever they're from.
I told you last time I want to go to the moon.
The moon it's not even out of orbit.
I want to go to the moon
Yeah.
more than I would want to go to Mars.
I don't want to go to Mars. I want to go to Alpha Centauri or
You want to go somewhere where there's life.
yes.
Yeah. I want to go to the moon. It's desolate. It's clean.
You can't even breathe. All right, we've only got 3% battery.
That's
so.
all right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Find us at the Our Take Pod on Facebook.
Did you know that this song is a rejected takeoff song?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, or the OurTakePodcast.com. You can watch all the episodes there. For episode 105, I'm Brian.
I am Spencer. See you next time.